Hey everybody, welcome back to Cookie Gaming. Today we're playing some more Disco Elysium. Now last time, we actually met in person a few of our colleagues from the precinct. Not the friendliest meeting of all time. We talked to the Pale driver, one of the lorry drivers over here, and what she said made a little more sense. Now we know about the existence of the Pale. We found out about the Lady Driver, sort of intimately tied up with the investigation we were doing for Joyce, who we're going to talk to now. Also, I've been streaming on Twitch lately, so if you're interested, please check that out. It's linked down below. My Twitch channel is the same name as this channel, Cookie Gaming. We've been playing some Oblivion lately, so please check that out. I know some of you objected to the tactics I used last time, but, you know, we may have differences of opinion. That's totally fine. Also, this is my first time through, so I may make what may to appear to be a mistake. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just a difference in opinion. I'm sort of deciding as I go, trying to make the best decision in front of me, you know, as you do in real life, as you do in Disco Elysium. Alright, so let's talk to Joyce. We've got a little bit of info to share with her about this trafficking investigation.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Yes. I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
I don't like that. My eyes on the harbor? Okay, Joyce, you know, you're revealing always that you know more than I may think you do. Where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter, and I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
I can't do nothing without everybody finding out about it. Whether it's Joyce and Wild Pines, or Everard and the Union. And you know, personally, I like Joyce. She's interesting. She's given us a lot of revelations about the world, but don't forget, she is the representative of this company, right? And so when we're talking with her, we're sort of talking through her at times with them. You know, Everard is very unpleasant personally, right? But it's more than just the individual. It's about what they represent. So I do like Joyce, I have to say, but, you know, I gotta remember I need to be on my guard around her.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
You know, you're doing a lot of assuming, Joyce.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
No, I don't think so. I know why you say that, but frankly, I think Kim should handle this. Plus, I'm just gonna say the same thing Kim did, which is we've looked into it, but we want you to give us information first. So I'm gonna let him say it.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
I like Kim's approach, which is look into it, right? She knows we've looked into it because she's been keeping tabs on us, but be cautious with what we share with her.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
Exactly. That's the right move. We don't need to tell Joyce more than she needs to know in that moment, right? I'll put it that way. Joyce is on a need-to-know basis.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
I'm sorry, what? What was that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Great. And we find ourselves right in the middle, eh? You know, the sort of briefing I was given is that I was here to solve a murder case, and that is what I'm doing, but it's all intimately tied up with this labor dispute that you're now telling me may evolve into a civil war. Fantastic.
Since you are sharing, man, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Right. Well, it's interesting. Obviously, we're aware of the industrial dispute, the strike, and, you know, we don't want it to escalate, but our job is to investigate this murder. However, now that we're doing it, like I said, the two were sort of integrally linked. So it's not like we came here to solve the labor issues, but we may have to do something about them.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me.
Oh.
In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure.
Uh-oh.
They called it my security detail.
Okay. This is lining up with what we heard. So last time, we called back, I believe, to Kin's Station, where we had those boots investigated. And they said, I've literally got notes in front of me, because I've been taking notes now, that the boots came from a security firm named Crenell, who had been involved in a lot of, like, wars, a lot of pharmaceutical work, a lot of violent conflict, and that's where the boots were from. Of course, we know that the guy who was lynched was, well, we had some speculation, like a mercenary or a security guard. Well, it seems like he's from this security firm, right? He's wearing the armor. This is what Joyce is telling us. So, this is good. This is corroborating evidence, corroborating testimony, right? We have some information. It's now been confirmed from several different sources and pieces of evidence. So, employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith. What do you mean by that?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke.
Oh, a
They
joke.
did not appreciate the humor.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't. Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
I mean, look, I said I'm suspicious of Joyce, right, because of what she represents, but I'm far more suspicious of her bosses, you know what I mean? Joyce, she has a role to play in this, could be more or less nefarious, there's a lot to say about that. But her bosses I like even less, because she's pretty personable, but also, as we're seeing here, they are far more willing to use force and to really do something bad than she is. She is here to negotiate, plain and simple.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell.
Yep.
An Oranese military
Yep.
company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
Okay. And it's also what we've heard, because obviously there's lots of parallels in real life to companies sending in some sort of violent force to break up a strike, right? Now I guess these guys weren't necessarily sent in to break up the strike, more to put pressure on. But of course in the United States we've got the Pinkertons, very famously this both detective agency and sort of strike-breaking agency that were sent in to beat up and kill workers. What I will say here is what we learned about them, Orion's military company, is that Crenell has been, as I said earlier, more associated with, like, warfare, civil warfare around the world than breaking up strikes, right? So this is sort of even another level up. 3 arrived in Martinez, 3 mercs, and 1's dead. So, okay, they report to you, but they don't answer to you, and your relationship is deteriorating. Okay, that's not good.
They wear ceramic armor,
Yep.
have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
This is bad. This is really bad.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
Yeah, this is basically what we were told by the Hardy Boys, that he did or tried to sexually assault someone, and they basically beat him up, killed him, or beat him up and hanged him. But what we know now is that he was actually shot, and the hanging was probably a cover-up. Now, that doesn't mean all of this is false, but we don't know what parts of this are true and what parts are not true, right? Is any of this story accurate? Or was it entirely made up to cover up the shooting of this guy? I don't know, right? Maybe, I don't know how it could have been killed, but maybe this cover-up was... I don't know. I really don't. I'm trying to think about it, but there's just a lot we don't know.
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
So this is largely what we heard, except Joyce is giving us some background on who this guy was, but now we know there's definitely more to it. Okay, so what then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What? Oh, this is bad. When she said that they were not used to conducting themselves in an urban civilian environment, this is like next level. They are literally, just like a military force has been dropped into this, like, city. Civilian, no warfare, this is bad. This is really bad.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Fucking hell. Oh yeah. Now I see what she meant by bloodbath, because that would start an all-out civil war, right? One of the mercs gets lynched, then they kill some number of Hardy Boys, probably, Union members. Yeah, that would lead to all-out warfare. Oh god, this was already bad. This has gotten a lot worse. Oh no. Maybe the investigations could team up. Well, it's funny, technically, I guess we're kind of trying to find out the same thing, right? Which is, how was this guy murdered, right? We're both trying to find out the same thing, but I'm just really worried about what they're going to do when they find out. Maybe if they don't find out. Because I'm just here to, I don't know, maybe arrest someone? I'm not looking to start a full-on civil war. Yeah, this is my reaction. Boy, oh boy, is that not good.
It's not good. No. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put...
Great.
If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
I feel like I've almost been flipped a little bit in that... Not that... I mean, this is all very complicated. This game does good with the nuance. It's never black and white. But we were sort of like an aggressor against the Union, right? Because they're clearly involved with the murder, at least some of them in some way. But now it's almost been flipped, where our job now is to prevent a bunch of Union members being killed. At least that's what it sounds like. But I don't just want to pin it on someone. I want to find out the truth, like what happened. Because obviously, whatever I could say about the Hardy Boys and all those Union guys, some of them are not maybe the most friendly bunch, but I don't want them to all get killed. One, just because that wouldn't be good in the first place, but two, because it is going to lead to a massive conflict, civil war.
They would have to project strength and power.
Yeah, I mean, as we've heard, the Union here is a lot more than a union, right? They are the authority around here. They almost govern the place, right? They, they handle criminal justice, if you know what I mean. So this is not a normal situation.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men.
Jesus.
It should be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
Right.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
Yeah, Joyce is saying that these mercs can do a lot of damage, essentially kill a lot of people before they're done with.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
Yeah, it's a totally uneven battle.
As I said, a bloodbath.
I can't see it happen. I can't see it happen. No, I can. In fact, I think we're pretty close to that happening. I don't think it's inevitable necessarily, but I think it's very possible, maybe probable, if we don't do something. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia.
Okay, don't rub it in.
All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
This is so much more than just a simple murder investigation. And I know that's already a lot, not to downplay that, but this is so much more. Yet. Alright. What can you tell me about Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Down a deep, black well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions, and such.
Yeah, we heard about this. So this is like if you took, you know, one of those American mercenary firms that they sent out to Iraq or Afghanistan, and then had them do operations in the United States, you know, during like a labor strike, which, you know, I'm not going to say that's never happened before. It might have, but basically, these types of groups are known to use a lot of violence and unchecked violence when they're sent out to operations in the third world. You're essentially bringing them back to a, you know, quote-unquote first world labor dispute, and they're going to try and use that type of force here. You know, there may be sort of an analysis to be done here on imperialism or something like that. You know, it's often said that sort of the tactics that the Imperial Corps uses abroad are eventually brought back home, right? All the things they try out governing territories, you know, in the third world, essentially, developing countries, are eventually brought back home to be used on their own civilian population. You know, there's maybe something there. But that is kind of what we're seeing here. This security firm has been used in a bunch of developing countries to provide security, escort missions to presumably a bunch of corporate contractors, and now they've been sent back here, and they may be about to kill a bunch of people, which is probably what they were already doing, and we have to deal with it. Oh no.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
That as well. Yeah. They're gonna come in with max force.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Right, like I said, unchecked violence. And they're gonna try and use that here. And they may be able to, unless we stop them. Or something happens, but, you know, that would definitely cause a massive, massive political blow-up if this all goes down. Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Can you really... I know Joyce is... I understand she's saying that, you know, she's losing control of them, and that, you know, they report back to her for now. But can you really not contact your bosses and have them do something? I feel like maybe we could appeal to a higher power up the corporate chain. I'm not saying that would necessarily work. I understand the limitations of that, but is there nothing else you could do for us, Joyce?
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
This is exactly what I was wondering. Could you contact the company, tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will.
Oh.
However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here.
Okay.
Until they do, it's all on us.
That's what I was worried about. So, Joyce has tried the thing we thought of. Of course she has. She's pretty smart. And basically, it's not going to be enough. It's not. We don't have the time. How much time are we talking about? Like, a week? Or like a couple days? Or like a day? Like, what do we... Because I've been, frankly, I don't want to say wasting a lot of time. You know, all my side investigations have been very valuable. But I've been using a lot of time not on the main investigation. So I'm starting to worry a little bit. Okay. So you said the deceased assaulted a woman.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
What did they say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, what we heard.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching.
We have.
Where did it take place? And when?
I'm pretty sure we have, Kim. When we talked to the... That's fine. For once, I've got the better memory. When we talked to the Hardy Boys, they told us this very story.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Hardy Boys. But they wouldn't tell us anything about the assault, right? Because I remember we questioned them about it, right? Because Kim was like, that's a pretty serious accusation. And they basically stonewalled us. Wouldn't give us any info, the victim, anything. So who was this woman, Joyce?
That's a good question, officer.
Damn.
I don't have the slightest idea.
Okay.
As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
Okay. This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name?
Lely,
Lely.
his service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Lely. Alright, I wrote that one down. We finally have a name for our hanged man. Why don't you tell me about the others first?
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
Sound like a great bunch.
What would you say was his eye color? The deceased.
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
Pang of regret in her voice, to her voice.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own.
Alright, vague white guy.
In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Alright, well, we didn't really learn much about him. Individually, of course. Lely. Alright, maybe we'll dig up some more info as we go on this potential assault that he may or may not have committed. So where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth.
Would they just gun me down? Like, I know they're used to operating in combat zones. Well, I guess I'm relating it back to, like, our world. I'm thinking, like, well, if you had this sort of situation, they wouldn't gun down cops. But then again, this is... Revachol's different, right? We have a strange, low level of authority here. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they would. You know, this is a dangerous situation.
They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages.
Jesus.
It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Okay, so, answer to my question, they'd have no problem gunning us down. They think we're vigilantes. Savages. Jesus.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
The RCM gets its authority from the Coalition. Where does theirs come from?
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, I don't know if I want to meet them, but I think we'll have to at some point. But regardless, I still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Okay. Very high logic check. I will say, some of the bonuses are kind of giving something away. Let's find out where these mercenaries are.
One is obviously the scout leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Right. Well, we knew something was up with that guy. I'm gonna be honest, I personally hadn't put it together until this moment. Until we saw those bonuses listed. But I guess I hadn't thought about him too much, but he seemed like a... Yeah, there was something off about him, but that makes sense. So he's... Okay. Yeah, he's disguised as a scab leader for... on behalf of the company, or to conduct this investigation of theirs?
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout.
Oh, fuck.
They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
Everyone knows what I'm up to! I said this earlier, god damn it! Joyce knows what we're doing, Everard knows what we're doing. We gotta talk to Everard, by the way. I mean, I feel like I gotta level with him about this. He knows, he must know. He must know. And these guys know what we're doing. Man, dude, we can't do anything without... Oh no. I'm very seriously worried. One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
So she's telling us not to talk to this fellow. Or at least not to reveal what we know.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg.
Yeah.
Does this not bother you?
Yeah. Yeah, not only do you have this confrontation between the scabs, potential scabs, and the Union, but one of these guys is one of these mercenaries. That ramps up the tension, like, by 100.
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Yeah, you make a good point. That would be strange. She does make a good point. I do think Joyce, once again, does represent the company, but I trust her a lot more than her bosses. She is clearly relatively reasonable, despite her interests, and she wants to negotiate, not start a war. So, I'll grant her that. And it is clear that if she appeared to be intervening on behalf of the Union, she'd probably get removed from her post, which wouldn't help us. In fact, because they'd probably send in someone worse.
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think there is a real risk that the company would literally remove her, which I think is going to hurt our mission, not help. So one is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
I wonder if we could, I don't know, trick the... what would we do? I don't know, but I guess we have a method of contacting them.
I hope I can answer it better.
Oh, God. This question. I am worried to hear the answer. But how much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
I hate to say it, but it wasn't that hard for us to identify the members of the lynch mob, right? We got a reading from the footprints. Maybe they can't do that, but the Hardy Boys are telling anyone who will listen that it was them. So I don't think it'll take that long.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
Great.
5 days, not more.
5.
Maybe sooner.
5 or less. Okay, less than a week. Okay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Right. Okay, well, that's enough for now, I guess.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Yeah, that was terrible news. I'm not gonna lie, that was terrible news. You know, like I said, it did sort of corroborate what we've already been learning, but added a lot of bad to it. So now can you tell me about these tattoos from Lely's body?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
I seem to remember it was like a constellation or something. What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Okay, so this is an Oronese map of the waterways. Interesting. Huh. Oh. So, it literally would mark his travels. So what travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this,
And what is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
Wow. So Vredefort, the Oronese capital, and then Revachol, right where we are.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
Yeah, I like the old world and the new world.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol, case, vacation, injured.
Ptolemaeus Price.
In Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
In Martinez looking into Crenel. That's me. I mean, what's going on here? This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me.
Huh.
We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
Right.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Interesting. Interesting. So what is the use of this map? I think we kind of covered that.
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Yeah, there's some traditions around the world about people having some methods to be sort of drawn back to their homeland, or their soul drawn back after they die. So that's very interesting.
Where is he now?
Well, honestly, I mean, like, personally, I mean, there is no soul, or it's in the body, or whatever. Frankly, my answer here is kind of contingent. This guy seems like a real piece of work. I mean, we don't know about this sexual assault. Of course, that's a terrible thing to do if it happened. And then this man, yeah, probably a bad guy. We have chatted with him, though, or at least our imagination of him. You know, this is sort of the nice answer, but I'm going to say I've spoken to him. This is going to make me sound crazy, but I am crazy. For now, the soul is fastened inside his corpse.
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members?
Uh-oh.
The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture.
Yeah.
This man was their friend and comrade.
Yeah, I can't imagine that'd go over too well.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task.
Yeah.
Search elsewhere.
I'm not doing that. Look, yeah, y'all have seen this playthrough. Just about any quest offered, I accept. This one does not seem like a good idea, so I'm gonna leave it.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
I mean, frankly, it's my own life. From the way you've described these guys, I think if I go up and show them this photo, I may get gunned down in the street. Holy. Alright, well, that's all for the tattoos.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Oh, I guess not. This is highly disturbing. I wonder if Kim's got something to say.
Yes?
Oh. I wish there was, you could consult with Kim a little more. But I guess we have our briefings. Or I assume we do. What is it, day 3? We didn't have one the end of last day, because Kim was delivering the body to the morgue. Well, Lely's body. But I'm assuming that we usually do those. Well, I think I'm gonna go and talk to the Hardy Boys next, because there's like a lot of information we have that there's clearly more to uncover, and I'm hoping they can tell us something. We have a thought running? Yeah, motorway south. Like I said, any existential thought I will take. It's still got a while to go. Great. Well, let's see how this Hardy Boys confrontation will go. Now, I don't think they'll gun us down where we stand, but they might beat us up. You know what I mean? Oh, wait a minute. Is there a bottle in there? I hope, well, I know we have to pay like $20 every night for our room, but I'm not sure I'm gonna make it there tonight. I'm not making very much money, to be honest. We do have a bunch of our side things to do, but I want to talk to the dang Hardy Boys. See what they have to say for themselves. Alrighty. Oh, there's our colleagues over there. Hello, Titus.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Good one, bro. You know, let someone left an absolute essay in the comment section about this, which is appreciated. But I'm gonna try this authority check now, because any further progress, any further bonuses we get will just be added on. So let's give this a shot before we ask them about, you know, the other stuff that we need to talk about. Come on.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
We're gonna throw a tantrum. First you tell me someone's been raped, and then you don't say who? That's bullshit! Stop your feet.
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, all right? We took care of it.
Okay.
The law handled it, all right?
There.
Yeah.
Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
Hey, but I'm the law.
For God's sake, stop shouting! Stop breaking things in my establishment!
Okay.
Stop provoking those oafs!
Relax, guard.
They're not going to give you anything. Can't you see? I can't have a police interrogation in here. People are trying to eat.
Shut up, barman.
What is your...
Easy, babes. What is this? I can't have a slap fight in my bar. It's embarrassing.
Great, I just humiliated myself.
We are deep in Far's territory. We need to cool off and re-engage later.
Yeah.
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
Right, well, that went well. Let's,
Looks like the circus
okay,
left town,
yeah.
but
Repeat
the clowns
yourself.
are still here.
Let's ask the real questions now. Let's ask about the drug trade first. Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have.
Yes, I have.
There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
Brother, I'm not saying Jamrock is clean. I'm pretty sure it ain't. But Revachol definitely ain't. Or, you know, Martinez or whatever.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock?
Mm-hmm.
The person driving it was present at the hanging.
Nice.
It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant.
Oh, yeah? Alright. You know what? You do the honor, Kim.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by
Oh,
you.
damn.
You're the drug trade.
He got him.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
State-run monopoly. Jesus.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
Oh, is that why you did it? Come on, man.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Bruh, this is ridiculous. Look, I will say, on the topic of, like, drug decriminalization, I think it's better to be decriminalized. You tend to treat it better that way, get people medical services better than, say, what we have in the United States, where people just get locked up for it, right? And no one stops using, right? But this is not that, okay? This is not that. Keep telling yourself that, Titus. I know for a fact there's... Wait. I don't know about that. No, I was gonna say that. I'm just revealing... I'm not saying that. This is disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off of poisoning your own people.
Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
I'm pretty sure y'all are just trying to make a profit.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here.
Uh-huh.
My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Okay, is that it?
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
Yeah, the 8th Hardy, the one who's missing, she runs the thing, right?
My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
Do you always know whenever Titus gets right up in your face that he's getting pissed and that you're getting somewhere, right? Whenever we start jabbing, we start asking the right questions, Titus starts getting mad and tries to threaten us. We've seen when we make a fool of ourselves, he just laughs. But when he's pressed, that's how you know you're doing the right thing.
Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know. Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat, he left 2 sets of footprints.
Come on, man.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know?
Look at that. You bumped up that authority check. Alright, let's get it out the way. I talked to Joyce. The merc you hanged, his friends are coming for you.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Ah, okay. So, you knew.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
I mean, obviously, you know, we were aware that they knew somewhat the background of this guy, but they know exactly where he's from. They know about Crenell. So what do you know? Man, this is, like I've said, I really like this, how you get dropped into the world. You need to learn everything as you go, and we're making these discoveries only to find out that we're being watched and that everyone already knows. We are so many steps behind, but I think we're catching up, okay? Maybe that's, you know, optimism, pointless optimism, but clearly, you know, we do need to catch up. There's a lot of things we don't know that everyone else knows. Yeah, they're forming some kind of tribunal and they're coming for you. I'm honestly trying to stop you from being killed.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
That's not a confrontation you want, alright?
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Brother, your pea shooters, from what we've heard, they ain't gonna do nothing against Crenell. They literally have armor that apparently can't be pierced by the guns we're using, or that I'm supposed to be using, okay? Glenn's fucking crazy. Y'all are the Hardy Boys. You're just like the boys. You're like a local gang. Going up against a military contractor, you've got no shot.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
This is not gonna go well with Titus. Look, the mercenaries, I don't think we're gonna convince them, but these mercs are armed with automatic weapons.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
I want to be sarcastic, but this is like real serious. Okay, so are those gonna pierce ceramic armor?
I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
Y'all ain't gonna see nothing because you'll be dead in the streets.
That was an unsure phrasing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was. See what? That they don't?
Yeah. Like you've been up against ceramic armor.
Brother.
You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal.
Well, this is true. You did... Well, someone managed to kill one of them, but we don't know how. We don't know how. Okay, well, I might as well go through all the options then. Did you know that a single Soray's giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Hey, you're the bees, they're the hornet.
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men?
Phase you with what? Metaphors to bees? Come on now. Look, this Crenell is bad news. You know that, right?
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
These guys are not a local gang. Y'all are the local gang in this case.
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
Like I said earlier, this is such a strange dynamic where I'm like, in some ways opposed to these guys, but I am at this moment literally trying to tell them, hey, your life is at risk, and we don't want all y'all to be dead in the street because it's going to be a disaster, and they're opposing me as much as possible.
These people are trained military professionals, special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or Barmy army.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think.
I mean, look, obviously we have not seen these mercs, at least alive. One of them is dead. That is a fact. Now, I don't know how easy or hard that was to do, because we don't know the real story of how it happened. So, sure, it is unclear to me how much of a threat these guys are. I don't actually know. But, from what I've heard, from, the call to the police station, from what Joyce has told us, these guys are an extremely dangerous threat, okay? That's what I'm hearing. So, that's what I'm gonna go off of, alright? Now, maybe they won't be as bad as that, but I don't know. I think Titus is, being overconfident here, putting on a show, and that he maybe even believes. I don't think it's like that. I think, y'all will get wiped off the map, frankly. Joyce said they've gone rogue. Nobody is controlling them.
Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen?
Well, I mean, you're correct there. You're absolutely correct there. Whenever these types of security agencies get hired, and this, like I said, is sort of a step up from the usual Pinkertons, it's no surprise that they end up beating or killing people. And of course, that is usually the intent. But even if you say, oh, we didn't expect them, you should know this, alright? Okay, Titus. Alright.
What do you mean, okay?
What do I mean? I don't think you got this. I'm not gonna be gunning y'all down. Do I wanna... I'm trying to decide if I should send a warning, or try to tell them that I'll back them up. I don't know what's gonna help here. I just don't think this is gonna help anything. Maybe. I mean, I don't know if this is necessary. Oh, look, I'm not gonna side with the mercs. I don't know if I'm gonna side with Titus, but you know what, Titus, I'll be on your side when they come.
Yeah? Just try not to get in the way when the whoop-ass flies open.
I think he meant a can of whoop-ass. Beneath the whoop-assery, it's clear that he appreciates all the help he can get.
Really? Huh. Okay. Alright. That's a decent check. Alright, let me see. It's an authority check. I don't think I have any authority boosters, but it's worth taking a look, because this is now a doable check. In fact, very doable. I know I have... This can lower authority. I think I checked this last time. Like I said, guys, I don't have these here memorized. Okay, I don't. But, you know what I do have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skill points. We are getting this check right now. Plus, our base authority is pretty high. Alright, Titus.
It's you again. What is it?
Acknowledges you gruffly. Are we, I don't... I'm imagining, like, our relationship stat with Titus. Is it rising? What is happening? Okay. Well, we've got, discussed the 8th Hardy. Warned about the tribunal, gave us a big bonus, so... Let's try and establish our authority. I don't really want to humiliate myself again if it doesn't work, but let's try it.
As you look around this room
Nice.
full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Where have I seen this before? What, is this gonna be the police station?
You believe the place was
Yep.
called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
It's just so funny. So, like, one of our big issues with Titus is that, he claimed to be the law, whereas we have a better, though still shaky claim to that. But are we gonna bond with him over both being lawmen? That's funny.
You seen Apricot, old Purdue's daughter? Asks Lieutenant McCoy. Uh-huh, replies Torson. The ass on that one. McCoy shakes his head in appreciation. A bit strange the old man named her Apricot. But, I mean, who am I to judge? Wanna hit the kebab joint?
Yeah, that's Chester and Mac, was it? The duo who were really, making fun of us when we called in. Okay, so we're gonna establish brotherhood with Titus. I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around here.
Huh?
You must be. You're just like real cops. Drinking beer, sitting around with your dicks in your hand.
You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Oh, interesting. So am I gonna shame them? Oh, interesting. Ooh, I kind of like that. I do kind of like that because Titus, I mean, I'm not convinced, you know, he's always like, we're doing this for the movement. I'm not convinced that's true, but I think he might be convinced it's true. I think there is a chance that if we say, like, yeah, clearly you don't care, that might piss him off enough to, you know, help us out. No, I'm drunk on the job too. I don't give a shit, just like you guys.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
Yeah, he definitely feels some sort of ownership over this place.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Yeah, so they do feel like they've done they've done something to improve the area. And to be fair, they actually might have. I mean, you know, sounds like it was very chaotic. They are sort of a gang within the Union, which is kind of a mafia. But they probably provide more order than just full out, you know, faction v faction violence on the streets. But whatever their actual achievements are, they clearly feel like, you know, they're the law around here. And they have certain things that they will let go and certain things that they won't.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
Okay.
Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Don't antagonize him. Okay. I think this is the best line. It's not about who did it, it's about the victim. She needs help.
Titus?
Oh.
She stops mid-sentence. That's it.
Okay.
You got him. He's going to give it up.
Okay.
But on his terms.
Okay.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her. But you treat her with respect.
Okay.
If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
I'm not gonna harass her, but I might have some questions.
What is her name?
Claudia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's Amonju with an O-U.
We seen her?
Shit. The girl.
Oh.
The girl
Yep.
upstairs? That can't be her.
Okay.
She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Fucking hell. And what, now we have to go interview her about a sexual assault that she was a victim of? Great.
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no! This is... this is great, I will say. The choices I made, literally, in the first episode of this series, are coming back to bite me now. Oh, man. That's good, but that's not good, because I'm going to fail this check. Alright, let's try and keep our cool.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
If I remember correctly, when we talked to her, there were worse things we could have said. And I'm glad we didn't do that. But we embarrassed ourselves enough stumbling out of our hotel room and being like, I'm a cop? Huh? I don't remember anything.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions.
Sorry, Kim.
Then we'll be on our way.
Let's boost that up. We got so many charges.
Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off.
Don't. I just talked to her one time.
Calm. Normal.
Fucking
Try
hell.
to forget this little hiccup.
Bro. Oh no, all the questions are like, I'm not gonna say that. What was her relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
It's not what I meant, okay? I'm sorry.
Something is off here.
Oh.
His anger is possessive.
Hello.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
His anger is possessive, so does that mean that he has a thing with Classier? Was that her name? Classier? Sorry. So the rape. Oh god, so professional. We should just let Kim take over. When was that?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
Man, I'm trying here. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm trying to solve this, and you are not helping. Well, you've just helped in a big way, though we forced it out of you. But this kind of answer is not helpful.
It would help if we establish a timeline.
It would.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Here you go, boss.
So, what is your relationship with her?
I know her.
He looks around, and an uncommon silence fills the room. Yeah, they've definitely got a relationship of some sort.
How well do you know her?
Correct question.
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Yes.
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months.
Okay. So she's not from around here.
You mean Revachol? Nah. She's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
I'm not gonna.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
I just want to know all the information possible. Because I will say this is, I mean, look, we've heard about this sexual assault. We didn't necessarily know if that was the case, but we're gonna get to go talk to the victim. So that part of it's sort of been confirmed. But there's still the other question of how was this guy killed, right? Because we know he was shot, and then the hanging was essentially used as a cover-up. So there's still a gap there. We need to know how was he murdered, right? What, you know. So that's what we need to find.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
Yeah, it's gotten awkward. You said you party. Cool, that's cool, but what did you mean?
What do you think I meant?
Well, I should just say it straight up. There's no point dancing around the issue. Was it sex?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so you're saying the two of you were close.
No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now.
Alright, thank you. We're gonna talk to her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Okay, understood. Understood. This is a big step forward in the investigation. Yeah, Kim, good time to talk.
Officer, what was that?
Oh. You mean the sweating and the fidgeting when he mentioned her name?
Yes.
And the sort of quivering jello thing with the eye?
Yes.
I think I know that woman.
The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
No, well... Okay, actually, I was gonna say no. I just talked to her once out of my hotel room. But... And that was already humiliating enough. But it's now I think about it, it's more than that. Because we were here for a couple days, we don't remember anything. And I know when we talked to her, she was like, I've seen you around. So... I don't know how much I know her.
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
Why would I? Why? Why would I ever clarify that? I'm... Fucking hell. I met her in the hallway after I woke up.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday.
She knows I didn't remember being a cop.
Okay, that's manageable.
I'm not saying that. This game plays on your completionist impulses to want to click every answer, but I'm better than that, alright? I know when I shouldn't click something. That's it.
This is unprofessional. Not sharing information with me is unprofessional.
Well, I didn't know it'd be relevant.
His opinion of you is lowered considerably.
Kim, I'm sorry. Brother, I didn't... What? Could I have even told him? Why was I supposed to tell him that? What would I have said to him? I didn't know she was involved. What, I talked to some random woman as I came out of the hotel room? Come on, I feel like that's a little unfair. I'm sure it's unprofessional. I assume we have to go up here. My whole thing's unprofessional, but, like, I feel like... Come on. Door number 3, yeah. Give me a little bit of slack, man. I know it's coming back to bite us, but... I wasn't hiding anything. Is this 3? Or is that Kim's room? I think that's Kim's room. Whoops. Alrighty. Let's go and have a chat.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Alright. We really have to not mess this up.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere.
Ooh.
You could snoop around before going up.
It's a little nefarious. I'm not opposed to a little snooping. Hotel bill, extended stay, dirty clothes. Room has sad all over it. Jesus. I don't really want to open the door because she'll probably find out about it because we are not discreet. So let's go up and talk to her. Feel someone watching you. It's Classier, right? That has been hastily made. You can talk to the window.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Okay, I'll run my fingers along it.
Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside.
Alright.
No chips, no hairline fractures.
Unlike my window, which I broke with my shoe.
Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
This window was recently replaced, okay.
Looks like it, yes.
You know which window has not been recently replaced?
What, the one I smashed?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, okay.
Cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you. Messing up your concentration here.
And my room must be freezing.
Stop distracting him!
Holy.
He has work to do. Plus, if I recall, the window has been giving him shit ever since he got here.
You know, our necktie always backs us up, but not... I don't know if it's good that it does. I'll put it that way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I knew... We talked to her, but also, I think... I may have... When you pass by outside, you see her up here. I may have literally said once, like, oh, who is that? Or I think I see someone.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air.
Let's try and grab them.
The wind brushes them off the roof. They're gone.
It's not a big deal. Just want to take a look at this before we talk. Cold coffee in an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. Means a lot of cigarettes. Alright, let's do this.
Welcome to the roof.
Cigarette and coffee.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
They're a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
Disco Inferno.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the
Oh.
infernum.
Whoops.
I am Kim Kitsuragi.
Sorry, Kim.
I am a detective
Sorry.
from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
I'm trying to be professional, but I'm trying to be friendly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer?
Once a cop, always a cop. We'll try and project some competence.
Like riding a coppercycle.
Sure.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Does she have a... Sorry, could she... Oh, whoops. Can she see the body from where she is? Just the way he said it, and I'm just thinking now, she must... I don't know if she has a good angle on it, but is she looking over the hanged corpse? That's gotta be pretty, like, distressing, right?
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Look, I'm not completely tactless. What's your name, miss, for the record?
Clausier Amandou.
Clausier. Alright, and where are you from?
Vredefort, Republic of Oranje.
I know what it is. Well, kind of. So she's from the capital. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay. And what's your job?
Something stupid.
Huh?
Wanna hear what's stupid? Somewhere in a one-room apartment on Boogie Street, a young man shows Patrol Officer Tilbrook his genital warts, asking if they're cancer.
That's pretty stupid.
His partner, Emil Mullins, can't be there. He's in another apartment with another man who's shown him a dead dog under the radiator. It's dead, Mullins says. No, the man replies. I touched him. He's warm. He's warm, Mullins replies, because he's under the radiator.
I was gonna say, he's warm because of the radiator, Jesus. Alright, something stupid. What's that?
Oranese lit.
Oranese lit. Literature?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
Okay. What's it about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
If that's true, then Revacholian Lit would fit you like a glove.
Yeah, so what do you do with it? Like, what's your job?
Nothing. I do nothing with it.
So how do you make money then?
Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese Lit.
Right, being what?
Many things.
Okay.
A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
It's the world's most tired smile.
Okay, so a lot of things, basically. Alright, could we look at your passport?
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why?
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Why?
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
That's pretty extreme, I have to say. How do I know you've told us your real name?
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausier Amandou.
Okay.
It's a weird name.
Fair enough. Alright.
Okie dokie.
Okay, well that's the simple stuff.
The record. So official.
She's got a very lackadaisical style of speaking. Alright, they tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
Okay, that was a bit too vague. Were you sexually assaulted?
By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Yeah. She's straightforward.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
Jesus.
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
Yeah. This is pretty heavy. But yeah, she seems, but I mean, I don't know. We can't see inside her head. She's definitely at least putting on a sort of lackadaisical, unbothered persona. I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so what does that mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I can't say that stuff about him.
Sorry, what?
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more...
Wait a minute.
Rapeable.
What are you telling me here? That this didn't happen?
By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Oh, okay.
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant.
Huh.
It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe.
Wait a minute.
It was clear the latter would be spicier.
I think coming up these stairs, I literally said there's a lot of details about the sexual assault. Now we have that confirmed. It's been unconfirmed. It's been unconfirmed. Okay, this changes things. So now, I mean, look, we knew the hanging was some sort of cover-up, but now it seems like perhaps this accusation is also part of the cover-up, and she was supposed to be acting as the victim. But then why... she has not acted as the victim. She's told us it hasn't happened. This is very strange. Oh, we're gonna go back down to Titus and be like, hey, she told us it's not true. Are you sure? She said she wasn't, okay? I don't need to ask, are you sure? Titus, well, she said not explicitly, but Titus asked you to spice things up?
Pretty much.
Warming them.
Okay. So what did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
Partied? Where have I heard that before?
A lot of partying going on.
That's what Titus said.
From Titus? About her and Titus's relationship?
Yes.
That's where you heard it.
Yes. Okay, so what do you mean you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
Okay, so you had a good relationship with with Lely, the dead man. Oh my, this is...
What else?
Okay.
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Ah, okay. You were lovers.
I guess you can say that, yes. A bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
Okay, so I was wondering when she said she wasn't, I was like, okay, did he do something? But now it seems like they had a good relationship, and interesting. I wonder how this ties in, because Titus said that him and Classier had something. I wonder if Titus is jealous or something. He certainly seemed a little possessive. So maybe that, I don't know, ties into this whole thing.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension?
Maybe.
With longing. She misses him.
When was this?
Well, it seems like she liked him. Okay, I will say, I'm a little relieved that we find out this accusation was not... Although, I don't know, I guess we heard... They said that he'd also assaulted other people. There's just a lot I don't know. All I'm saying is, this was a stressful conversation. You know what I mean? I was like, God, this is really heavy. It's still heavy, but maybe a little less so now that she's saying that he did not rape her. That was a heavy one.
A month ago? Something like that.
Oh, yeah, and so she can see him, and it hard, but in a different way. Not because... It must have been harder for you seeing him hung up there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
Right.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant.
You called us, the RCM.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay, we finally found out the caller.
Jackpot.
The call reporting the hanging. That was you.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Interesting. It's just so strange, though. So, we don't really know how he was killed. We know Titus and the boys hanged him to cover up whatever happened, or at least that's what we think. And they've tried to essentially set her up as a victim to feed us this story. However, she was actually close with Lily, the victim, and she was the one who called in the hanging. Interesting. So they must be... I mean, they must be fooled by her, I guess? She must be telling them a different story than what she's telling us now, because Titus literally sent us up here for her to tell us, like, yeah, you know, this whole story that they wanted her to feed us. This is very interesting.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Caller's voice was disguised.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into the cold wire.
So, she's God's mystery foam cutter.
In the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
So why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
Was.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
Yeah. Alright, what can you tell me about him?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
Right.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
Yeah.
She meant she sees him in her dreams.
So weird. I've also seen him in a dream.
You have? Not like I do, I imagine.
How do you see him?
You don't want to know.
Okay. Better conclude this part of the talk.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so what did they hang him for? Now, this is sort of the question.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
I do, but... I mean, obviously we know there's a lot of tension there, but they've killed one of them, not the other ones, and there seems to be some sort of cover-up with the hanging, so, you know, there's got to be something here. Of course it's all tied up with the strike, but, like, why specifically did they hang him?
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
But...
She nods.
But that's not how he died. There's still something else here. Maybe she doesn't know. But then we gotta go back to them and say, okay, you've lied to us again. What really happened? Yeah, why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too?
Well, I don't know if they did.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
I think it was before.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
They must... But did they not know that you liked this guy? You must have really been keeping it under wraps.
It's hard to know what to think about that answer.
Oh, thanks, Logic.
She's just tired. Don't push her too much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she doesn't know. I mean, yeah, as far as we're aware, the bullet was the cause of death. Okay, how do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now.
And how'd you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you partied with the deceased?
Mm.
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
That's the question.
I have.
Which one, Titus?
Which ones, sir?
Oh.
I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
Yeah, maybe. But then, why would they try to, make her pretend to be a victim? Maybe they thought she'd be frightened enough to do it, but if they knew... Right, here's the thing. Well, either this whole thing's a cover-up story, or maybe Titus legitimately thought that he sexually assaulted her, or he knew they had a relationship and was jealous. But if he knew, then, having her talk to us doesn't make much sense, right? Unless he really thought she'd go along with it. So I don't know. Could that be why they lynched him? Jealousy?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires,
Yeah.
But that's probably where they got the rape idea.
That makes more sense. I didn't think it was that either. So what do you mean that's where they got the idea?
Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
Ugh. So, do you mean that... well, actually... Yeah. I guess when I read that, I thought she meant that's where they got the idea that they believe, but now I see it could be that's where they got the idea to feed this story. I'm not gonna ask... Obviously not. Okay, well, thanks for telling us.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head back downstairs, officer?
Yeah.
We may have things to discuss there.
I think so.
As he says so, you feel the young woman looking at you and get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. A suspicion?
Oh, Inland Empire's not let me down so far. I guess one thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Okay. I don't know what else I'm supposed to ask. Let's go through the questions, I guess. I noticed your room's close to mine. I've got a personal question.
Yes. You're just one room away. Very personal.
Do you know what I did before I lost my memory?
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police
God
questions.
damn it.
Like,
Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here.
I'm realizing there are some things that we can't do while Kim is here. Okay. A nice room you've got here?
Yeah. It's pretty deluxe.
No one likes to talk about their dirty laundry and their empty bottles. Maybe if you phrase it emotionally.
I don't know about the suggestion. I don't know about that. So what are you doing here in the whirling in rags?
I'm wintering.
She does have a very vague style of explaining.
how long have you been staying here?
Maybe poetic is the word for it. She did study literature in college.
About 4 months. I came in November.
Why?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol?
What do I want to know? Here in Martinez.
I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go.
Hey. You're too young to call yourself a disco has-been. That's me.
I'm really not.
Hate to say it, but you've got sad all over the place.
Yeah. I've contaminated it pretty bad.
Is that why you're out here?
The contamination spreads from room to room. First, I escaped upstairs. The sad got that too. Then I found the handle for the summer door.
What exactly is the nature of this contamination?
For me, it's a mix of me with a lack of cleaning services. How about you? Talk around the establishment is, you have an industrial sad spill in there.
I do.
Somewhere below, military-grade SAD is dripping off the walls. You should say the first thing. It's honest. It will lead to introspection.
Something is bad. in my head in the past.
That's where it always comes from, isn't it? From the head and from the past.
It's a feeling white and filled with doom, gaseous, inevitable, deadly. It's everywhere.
Sounds like an advanced form of what I've got, with a bit of old love sprinkled on top.
Probably.
Love is terror.
That's what it seems to be for us as well. That window is new.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Yeah, you know something's important whenever Kim writes it down.
He finds the answer unsatisfying.
Okay.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and
Jesus.
sparkling and draped in smoke.
Okay. Okay, well...
Not my favorite topic, but okay.
Just for the sake of completion, and just because I see we have a check now, I'm wondering if we can get a bonus to it. Are you sure?
I'm 89% sure.
What does that mean?
You know how it is.
Okay.
Do you?
I don't.
Maybe you don't.
I really don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
That was more vague than I expected. But what I think she's saying, maybe, is that she was like so drunk and drugged out that she can't be sure, but that she's pretty sure nothing happened. Okay.
She takes a long, hard drag.
I love that
off
answer.
The cigarette, then stretches her neck. You hear cracking in her shoulders.
There's a lot of ambiguity here.
How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
Okay. That didn't help, but we've got good volition. We can retry it. I think we're gonna get this. Look her in the eye.
She looks
Fail.
back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile.
This feels like an important one, so I'm gonna get it.
Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through
Okay,
the
relax.
roots of sound.
Relax.
We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs. Just below the silver jumpsuit.
Avert.
The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Alright, I'm doing
Why
this
not?
check again.
I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
That's when we have to meet that one smoker. What do you want, Kim?
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
It did. You think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Well, this is what I'm wondering. Why did she tell us all that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
What do I think? Do I think she seems candid or something is off? Frankly, I think something's always off, because I'm kind of suspicious. I don't know. I think something's just in the what I was saying before. It does seem strange to me that if they knew she had this relationship, that then they'd choose her to play the role of victim. I don't know. It's something is weird.
You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
Is that you telling me to go down? I want to retry this volition check. I want to... let's give it a shot. I want to do this. Sure, it feels like a big check, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I think that's telling me I can... whatever. Alright. You have a pretty good shot.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
It's not bad. More than half. My volition's very high. Alright, come on.
Soft, light brown eyes
Nice.
look back at you. directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful.
That's what you're telling me? I'm sure it'll go somewhere else, but whenever it gives you one of these vague something is up checks, or like investigate further, those have been big ones so far, right?
I have bad news for you.
What?
You know these guys? Who? Me?
Them?
Yes, you. He's talking about you, you boring stiff. You too.
Okay, my thoughts?
Me? What did I do? These guys are compromised.
Huh?
She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info. You can't trust them anymore.
What?
Believe it.
Sorry, what? What are you telling me? I will say Suggestion was getting a little weird back there. And some of my physical skills I never trust. But, well, which are the ones affected?
There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume.
Wait a minute.
All of them.
So
Bullshit, man.
I
ain't compromised.
You are the most compromised. I haven't trusted you this whole game.
Especially that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's the most compromised one in here.
Yep, that's exactly right. You are the most compromised, brother.
No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick. Tell me what's under her jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Glory. Truth.
Okay.
Softness.
Okay.
Protect her. She wants you.
Look, yeah, there's been a lot of that type of stuff. So I was, like I said, there were some strange comments from my thoughts previously.
I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely.
Suggestion?
She likes
I
him.
knew it.
The crown head is a boring
I
condom.
knew it.
He's jealous. This is human nature.
Told y'all, this guy was saying some weird stuff. This is good because obviously our thoughts. Oh, this is good. Obviously your thoughts are not always right, whether in real life or whatever. But it's the checks, right? The success that makes you think, all right, we're doing this, and he's telling us, now it's not just a failed check that means something's off. That's fascinating. Although, like I said, I am a kind of a suspicious guy, so I think you see throughout the playthrough, sometimes, I'm like, I don't know, but this is another level. Okay, how did this happen?
How it always does. Through subtlety.
What can I do?
There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is.
Great.
Things will go as they do.
Can you turn them normal again?
No.
What use is this then?
It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not?
So does that mean she's been lying to me? God.
I think it's safe to assume, yes. Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be paeans to her truthfulness. Like this, she is a lady, most fair and just.
Oh, drama. So what? God damn it. Now I'm thinking, what that she's told me has been true and what has been false? This is difficult, man.
In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright
I did
lies.
say she's pretty vague when she speaks. I feel like I often rely on drama and empathy, right? Because they tell me what people are thinking, feeling, are they lying? So this kind of hits hard. This is tough.
That is correct. And omissions too.
Can I trust that guy?
A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something.
They do.
I wouldn't know. I don't add flair.
I've got a very high volition now.
But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted. Not with her.
Can I trust them ever again?
Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them. Just not with Miss Orange Disco Dancer here.
What, so when I'm attracted to someone, is that it? That seems to be what we're getting at. When Harry here gets a little excited, you can't trust his thoughts anymore. Well, I guess that's pretty accurate. So what is her plan?
You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one he usually does said she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. See? It's oddly moderate. Probably compromised.
Are you compromised? Who's compromised and who's not compromised? All right.
Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
I say it? I don't know if I should say anything about it.
For a second, her face disappears from your cornea. Only a silvery negative remains.
I don't know if I should say something, but it's good to know.
Still smiling. A tired smile.
I wonder if I can ask her other questions now.
Yeah?
No.
All right. Not my favorite topic.
No.
But okay.
All right.
How about we, change the subject to... Sure.
Ask her where Anya is, just for the sake of completion. I know I literally said earlier, I can see beyond the completion, but might as well, because something's up.
A bad memory, officer.
So vague. Of what?
Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminum. Fredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. And night. At least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there.
All right.
The record. So official.
That's what we have. Man, what do we do now? So... Oh god, what do we do now? I don't know. I really don't. Can I look at the window again?
This window is...
I already saw what we're gonna see. There's always more, and I knew that, but now I'm finding myself sort of confused about what I've missed and what I haven't. What's through here? Yeah, fuck it, I'm going in there. She's lying to us, probably. Okay.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Look at the toothbrush.
It's been used quite a lot.
Okay, look at the medications.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
It's quite the collection in here.
Anything of note?
Let's search them.
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses.
Okay.
Always handy to have around.
Nacra, opioid antagonist.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Yeah. Okay. Search the pill sheets.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
Wow, well my electrochemistry usually doesn't do me any good, but maybe it will here.
A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby.
Nope.
That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
I'm not going to take it, because that is not what I want us to be doing. But I'm going to tell Kim, Lieutenant, I see a brand called Preptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
I mean, this at least does match what she told us. She said she'd been doing a lot of drugs and drinking over the last couple months, I think.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
No, I'm not going to do that. All right, I think that's everything in the bathroom. Get out of here, Kim. Kim, follow, please. I want to shut the door behind us. Be less suspicious. Oh, Kim, you're in there. All right, well, it's fine. Kim? Kim. I've locked him in. Get out of here. Don't go in there. Alright, thank you. I don't know if that actually matters, but, you know, I want to make sure my bases are covered. Okay. I think we're going to end it here. I think we've got perhaps a confrontation with the Hardy Boys. We're gonna have to talk to her again. You know, I find myself more scattered now. You know, we've heard a lot of information this episode, like a lot. A couple of sort of big bombshells, a lot of important stuff. Now I find myself unsure of what to believe and what not to believe. This is fascinating. Yeah. So another good one. I really like this. I find it really interesting. If you guys enjoyed this one, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a like, subscribe. As I said, I've been streaming on Twitch lately. I've been streaming some Oblivion, so you'll find that linked down below in the description. Channel name is Cookie Gaming, same as this channel. So with all that, hope you guys are all having a great day today, and I'll see you all again next time. Goodbye.